Oh, so get this. Today we're doing a deep dive on, well, just one thing.
Just one thing?
Yeah, just one thing. One song, actually.
Okay.
But it's Pearl Jam's Jeremy.
Oh, wow.
And we're going deep. Not like a music breakdown,
Right.
It's more about, well, think of it like a character study of Jeremy.
Interesting. So kind of a psychological thing.
Totally. It's dark, it's complex, but I think the lyrics tell us a lot about Jeremy.
That's a cool approach. I mean, Jeremy it's got such a powerful story behind it,
Okay.
even though a lot of it isn't directly said.
Right. Yeah.
It uses all these images, like clues almost, and you have to kind of piece them together.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to try to do today, like what led to,
Yeah.
The end,
Yeah.
that tragic climax.
Yeah.
I mean, those opening lines, he's drawing these pictures, right? Mountains, himself on top,
Yeah.
all triumphant. But then it's like pools of maroon, the dead.
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
The way it's described, it's
Yeah.
almost like a fantasy world he's built.
Right.
A defense mechanism, Because in his real life, he probably feels totally powerless.
Yeah, like the opposite of that image.
Totally. He's compensating.
Yeah.
Creating this idealized world, right? Where he's got control.
Makes sense. And then you get that lemon yellow sun, so bright and cheery, but then
Juxtaposed with, like, brutal violence, like those pools of maroon, it just highlights how disconnected he is from reality.
that's a good thing.
Like, those two things can't coexist, But in his mind, maybe they do.
And throughout the song, we keep hearing, Jeremy spoke in class today, such a small thing.
Right.
But the song gives it so much weight. What do you think that's about?
It seems like he's craving attention, right? Like, he just wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody's really listening to him at home, so. Speaking up in class.
It becomes a huge deal.
Exactly. It's like, hey, I'm here, breaking through that silence.
Yeah. Makes me wonder if anyone actually heard him, though.
Good point.
Like, really heard him.
Like, understood what it meant for him to speak up.
Right. And then the lyrics just hit you with those lines about his parents.
Oh, yeah.
It's brutal.
Daddy didn't give attention. Mommy didn't care.
It's so direct.
Yeah.
And painful. It's like...
It's the core of it.
It is.
Yeah.
And you see how damaging neglect can be, even if it's not physical.
Right.
Emotional scars. They're deep. They make you feel...
Don't you?
Like you don't matter.
Exactly. And that can lead to some serious issues down the line.
There's also that line, Mommy wouldn't wear. It always gives me chills.
Chilling is the right word. It's like she's rejecting something about him.
Like he's flawed somehow.
Yeah. And that just pushes him further into isolation.
And that's where King Jeremy the Wicked comes in. Right?
Yeah. He builds this fantasy world where he's powerful.
He's in control.
A classic coping mechanism, especially for kids who feel powerless in their own lives.
But that fantasy can't last, can it? We see the tension build. His classmates pick on him.
Right. They call him a harmless little fuck. Like, they underestimate him.
And they have no idea they're, like, poking the bear.
Yeah. Unleashing the lion. It's mob mentality,
Yeah.
It's scary how quickly that can escalate. And it happens all the time.
And then that climax. Oh, man. Gnashed his teeth and bit the recess lady's breast.
It's shocking, disturbing.
It makes you wonder how much rage was building up inside him.
Right. Like how much pain he was holding on to.
And that act, as awful as it is, it's like his way of trying to get some control back.
A cry for help. But it's misdirected. It's violent.
Yeah, for sure. And then the song shifts perspective.
To the narrator.
Who saw it all happen.
My jaw left hurting, he says. Dropped wide open like the day I heard.
Like he's still in shock.
Yeah. It shows you how trauma sticks with you, even if you weren't the direct victim.
And that it can affect anyone who witnesses it.
It makes you think about the ripple effects of something like that.
How it can just echo outwards.
But then the song ends, and we're left with so many questions. We don't really know what happens to Jeremy.
We don't know the full aftermath.
And that's intentional, right? I think so. It's like, sometimes there are no easy answers.
It makes you sit with the discomfort.
Exactly. And it forces you to think about the complexities of mental health.
Like those warning signs we might miss.
And how important it is to reach out to people who are struggling.
It makes you think.
Yeah. And there's that repetition of, Jeremy spoke in class today.
Fading into just spoke in.
Almost like his voice, his attempt to connect, it's being silenced somehow.
Lost in everything that happened.
Yeah. And it's unsettling, right? It makes you think, what if someone had really listened?
What if things could have been different? This song, for me, it's like a warning. Like, pay attention to the quiet ones.
Yeah.
To the people who are struggling. Because everyone has a story.
Even those who seem lost in their own worlds.
So I guess
Hmm.
what I'm asking is, if Jeremy spoke to you today, what would you say back?